The Magic community is in uproar, YouTubers are boarding the FUD train, card prices are crashing, Bank of America double downgrades Hasbro, and the end of not only Standard, but the entire game of Magic has been declared. I have a different perspective, and I haven't heard any YouTuber yet state what Wizards really try to do with the Magic 30th anniversary, but I will. This video might hit my record of the most dislikes, but do you really disagree with the majority of my points? You aren't going to want to miss this, and we're starting right now. But before we get started, I want to remind you to please do my channel a big favor by liking and subscribing to the channel, and in return for doing so, I will present you a very adorable Mox Orc head picture. Now back to our topic. We'll start with the point that I agree with, and that's that there are too many card variants. Traditional, showcase borderless, extended art, traditional foil, etched foil, gilded foil, textured foil, galaxy foil, serialized, and if that weren't enough, you can cross many of those variants. The reason I think these are too many variants is because what I believe makes a variant special is the recognition and awe from the community that you got the agreed upon rare variant. It's this belief that drives my wish that Wizards only make a traditional variant and a rarer foil variant, with some cards being allocated to the especially rare serialized variant, which I like a lot in Brothers War and I think should continue. I do understand the opinion that some people genuinely love the look and feel of borderless and extended art variants, and for this reason I have only a soft disagree that there's too many card variants. This isn't an opinion I hold particularly strongly. The next point the community brings up is how many different sets and too many variants of boxes there are. I also agree it's too many sets for any single person to keep up with. Where I differ is the opinion on what Wizards should do about it. People play Magic in different ways. I happen to primarily draft. If Wizards held a vote and said we had to do away with all but one product, I'd say you should keep traditional set draft boxes. The collectors out there would be astonished and say, what about collector boxes? Those are the only boxes that have any cards of real rarity. The players out there would be astonished and say, what about set boxes? Those are the only boxes that have powerful cards at a remotely reasonable price. The Commander players out there would say, what about my Commander Legend sets? Those give me the staples I need for Commander. The Modern and Pauper players would say, what about my Double Masters sets? These give me the staples for those formats. My point is, there are many different ways to enjoy Magic, and too often people assume every product is made for the way they like to enjoy playing Magic. It's like opening a box of Dominaria United Jumpstart for the cards. The product wasn't made to be filled with bombs. It was made for limited players who want to play, but not spend time drafting or building a sealed deck. They get to open 2 packs, smash them together, and get straight to playing a new surprise deck they haven't played a million times over. If limited formats have too many bombs, it isn't fun. If you're facing a player who opened Dream Trawler from Theros Beyond Death, you know what I mean. You basically need to concede on the spot. When people hear, this product isn't for you, they take it the wrong way. It's about whether the product was designed to be enjoyed the way you like to play Magic, or the way someone else likes to. Now here's where the problem of, this product isn't for you, becomes a problem. When expectations of one set of Magic enthusiasts, an entirely different set of Magic enthusiasts conflict. And that is what Magic 30th Anniversary Edition is. I do think it was a mistake for Hasbro to make that. They made it for gamblers. The problem is that players have been asking for Wizards to break the reserve list for over a decade. The players were disappointed by what Magic 30 could have been. It could have been an affordable printing of the best cards that players could use for formats like Vintage, Legacy, and Commander. But the collectors who have relied on the promise of the reserved list needed their cards to not be diluted with cheaper alternatives. The players and the collectors were at odds, and Hasbro needed to upset some contingency of the fanbase. They thought they could thread the needle between collectors and players by appealing to gamblers. Gamblers could hit the jackpot and open up expensive Power 9, or lose their bet and open up the intentionally heavily printed Dual Lands and Sol Ring. Then, these gamblers would recoup their losses, would sell the Dual Lands and Sol Rings at reduced prices to the players, giving them these staples at a more affordable price compared to today. I don't think Wizards should have done it because it didn't make the players nor the collectors happy. It only made the gamblers happy, but was that a smart business decision at the expense of how tone-deaf it was to the players and the collectors? Now, I'm not in the camp of the Magic 30th Anniversary Edition isn't morally right and is taking advantage of players. I do see the point that some gamblers need help to control themselves, and that's a truly sad situation. But when the US made online poker legal, that took away my side income and the primary income of many of my friends. Should we take away all casinos? Maybe gambling isn't an area you can relate to. What about drugs? Should we make smoking legal because it's not healthy for you? I just want to put some perspective on that. To be clear, on that topic, let alone all the topics in this video, I don't think there's a right and a wrong perspective. I just want to expose you to some perspectives I haven't seen exposed on YouTube. Speaking of misleading perspectives on YouTube, I've heard the statement that Bank of America double-downgraded Hasbro stock because Magic 30th caused the market confidence in the reserved list to lower. Now, this perspective is perhaps the only one I think in this video that can be labeled as false. Sure, the reserved list confidence is lower, but Bank of America downgraded Hasbro because of the public opinion of Magic the Gathering and the fact that players might leave the game. They do seem to be leaving the standard format of paper Magic. But is that really surprising? Magic Arena is cannibalizing paper Magic. It makes more sense to acquire standard decks more cheaply and where they'll get more convenient play on Arena. Does that mean the death of paper Magic? No. Again, different people enjoy Magic in different ways. Some prefer online, some prefer paper, and many prefer a game that can be enjoyed in both formats. Magic is fairly unique as a game that offers both online and in-person formats and will attract more players to Magic as a whole. Wizards knows this, and it will hurt Magic if they give up printing cards. Now, that doesn't mean they should print cards like online Magic doesn't exist. That's a big part of why the stock is down. They printed far more boxes than they can sell. To be clear, I don't mean they should reduce the product offering, which we already covered. I mean the number of boxes they are printing of each offering. What about the opposite? If Arena is cannibalizing paper Magic, would the Magic community or Wizards be better off if they'd never made Arena? No, Magic would have a smaller fan base as the portion of the online-only community would abandon Magic and play other games online like Hearthstone. It's essential for Wizards to have both online and offline in order to maximize community interest. At the end of the day, I believe the negativity towards Magic is a bump in the road. Yes, some of the sets haven't been the best design sets lately, but others have. Kamigawa was good for everybody. Streets of New Capenna was good for constructed players, but bad for limited players. Dominator United was bad for constructed players, but good for limited players. And now we're starting to see that the Brothers War is good for constructed and limited players alike. So I wouldn't be too fast to jump on the whole Hasbro and Wizards is bad at everything and Magic is going to die bandwagon. People who have boarded that bandwagon are already starting to jump off, and I do think that bandwagon is eventually going to enter the portal to Phyrexia and not be so loud. Thanks so much for listening. Please like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.